Do you always ignore parking signs?
Only when I'm running late.
Really?
Anyway, what do you care? You're not in uniform, you can't be on duty.
I'm always on duty.
Anyway, Constable, I really am running late.
I've seen more rubber on an elastic band. Your rego's out. I'm afraid you're going to have to come with me.
Are you arresting me?
We'll discuss that over a cup of coffee.
Boss, I tidied this last week.
Well, you can tidy it again, thank you, and order another box of ballpoints. Nick, running sheets. Make sure all the files are in order. Maggie, you can get the property book up to date.
We're not due for another inspection, are we?
No, it can't be. The last one was less than 6 months ago.
Then what's the problem? Not Faulkner.
Nope, Faulkner's on leave.
So what?
So his replacement has come in to visit.
Well, should we be worried?
Well, new brooms like to get onto all the nooks and crannies, Mags, and the boss is not leaving anything to chance.
Well, I don't know what you're worried about. I mean, whoever the acting inspector is, he can't be any worse than Faulkner.
Not he, mate. She.
Oh, come again?
Faulkner's replacement is a woman, Senior Sergeant Monica Draper.
It's a bit of a dive. I'm not here that much.
I can see that. I guess things were different when your wife was still around.
You've been checking me out.
I asked a few questions around the gym. You spent a lot of time there.
So I can keep my eye on a certain very attractive young lady who I know nothing about except her name is Kate.
And you're the one that makes a living out of getting the dirt on people.
It's pretty hard to strike up a conversation in an aerobics class.
Well, maybe you wasted a golden opportunity bringing me here. You could have taken me down to the station, given me the 3rd degree, taken my fingerprints, found out all there is to know.
I prefer to do that in private.
Don't you even want to know my other name?
Kate's fine.
I'm married.
Not happily.
What makes you say that?
You're here, and that's all I'm interested in.
I take it you're not going to give me a ticket for that minor parking indiscretion, Constable.
I'm still considering it.
Late 30s, early 40s, you reckon?
Hey?
Monica Draper.
Oh, I'd say she'd be more of a boiling hen than a spring chicken, that's for sure.
Well, she's not exactly ready for the golden handshake either. I suppose there's hope for me yet.
What, you're looking at being a senior sergeant, eh?
Well, I think that the force needs more women at the top.
Is that right?
I mean, you've got to admit that when it comes to doling out the promotions, us women don't get much of a look in. I could be waiting years and years for a senior connie vacancy to come up.
Yeah, you and everyone else. There's just not that many positions available for women or for men, for that matter. Get the phone, will you, please? Good.
Hello, Mount Thomas Police, Constable Curtis.
Anyway, who's to say that you won't be married by then with lots of little constables running around after you?
And who's to say that I will be?
Just hang on there, OK?
What?
The steam packet, someone's smashing up the bar shop.
We got the booze, don't we? Yes, we do.
Ditch Kenny.
Don't know what his problem is. Just tumbled in here from across the pub and started throwing things around. Right, I'm like, trying to pub you. He took a swipe at me. What do you want? Oh, yeah. Thanks, I've got him. Come here. Come here. Under arrest. Get down.
Listen, Peter, I'm going to have to get some more details from you, all right?
Hey, copper. What are you doing to me little brother?
Adam, I'm going to call for backup.
Righto, get up.
I asked you a question.
It's coming down the station.
On what charge?
Assault police and willful damage for starters. Now move.
Just a minute, copper.
Hey, Joe, what are you doing?
It's my shout and I'm a bit short.
That was my last $10 though, isn't it?
Too bad.
Well, what about him?
Just doing his duty. Thanks, Constable.
Thanks, VKC.
Want me beanie, man? It's gonna be cold.
Mount Thomas 308 to VKC.
OK, ditch old mate. Now you come along with me. And a nice long sleep in our presidential suite, you'll feel like a new man, believe me.
I believe congratulations are in order.
They didn't give me that much trouble, boss.
No, you kept your head. In these situations, it's always tempting to use more force than necessary.
Hey, boss, did you hear that Joe Kenny's back in town?
Seems a bit premature. Didn't he get 7 years?
He didn't act like an escaped crib.
Oh, it's official, all right. They let him out yesterday, in for a minimum of 5, out after 3 years, 4 months.
So much for minimum sentences.
Well, it's amazing what you can do with good behaviour, boss.
No wonder he was in such a peaceful mood.
Yeah, how long will that last?
It might be worthwhile to get him in for a friendly chat.
Will make a difference?
Probably not, but get him in anyway. I'll take Nick with you just in case.
Where are we going?
I thought I'd show you the rest of the flat.
What's to see?
Bedroom's not bad.
Another time.
What's wrong with now?
Well, if you're going to drive me to my car and get to work on time...
No, I can take the day off.
Well, I can't. I was supposed to be home hours ago. I still haven't had my workout yet.
We could fix that.
Wayne, we don't have to rush into this.
So when am I going to see you?
Soon. I promise.
Is this going to be a problem? I mean, is your husband the suspicious type?
Extremely. But I'll find a way.
Take a seat, John. It's been a long time.
Not long enough, eh, Sergeant?
I bet you're glad to be home.
Pentridge isn't my idea of a holiday camp.
No, if you want to stay out, you know what to do.
Don't worry about that. Joseph Kenny, reformed character. That's me.
We hardly had a peep out of your family while you were away. Oh, the odd skirmish at the pub, a couple of counts of car theft.
Guess they haven't got the guts to pull off any big jobs without your expertise, eh, Joe?
But you'll be setting them a good example from now on. Particularly young Ditch after today's drama.
We were celebrating. The kid had one too many. He was letting off steam.
It's a serious matter. He's been charged.
Teach him a lesson. I mean, doing over a joint without so much as a peek in the till, I ask him.
Oh, you listen to me, Kenny. Any trouble from you or yours, I'll make damn sure you pay for it. With your prize, if you go inside again, it'll be for a very long time.
I told you, Sergeant. Mr. Model Citizen. That's me.
Good afternoon.
There you go.
Hi.
Good. Hey, your hair looks good. I like that style on you.
Well, I wear it like this most days, Wayne.
Oh, well, most days I forget to notice.
Someone got out of the right side of the bed this morning.
No law against being in a good mood, Junior Constable.
What we want to know is what puts you in a good mood.
Or who? Hey, he's got a new girlfriend.
No, not another one.
No, this one's different.
Yeah, can she spell?
Seriously.
Catch up with you again. Thanks for the chat.
Well, just remember what I said. We may not need to have any more little chats.
Hey, Constable, you got guts for a runt. Ditch can be pretty mean when he's had a few. As for me, I'm downright vicious.
Know who that was?
Downright vicious?
Nah, Joe Kenny. I thought the name might ring a few bells.
I've heard you and the boss talk about him. Why should it?
You know his wife?
Do I?
Yeah, very attractive, slim, dark hair. You know, from the gym. I believe her name's Kate. Kate Kenny.
Constable Patterson. This is devotion above and beyond the call of duty.
Why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what? Oh, if you're referring to my marriage to Joe, I did try to tell you. I just didn't want to hear it.
Did you know he was back?
Yes, of course I knew. Came home yesterday.
Came home.
Well, it is his home too. Look, I told you my marriage is over. Whatever Joe's done or whatever he is has got nothing to do with us.
Just a minute. All right.
We need to talk.
Nothing to talk about.
What is your problem? What, are you frightened or your mates in blue are going to give you the cold shoulder?
Look.
No, I know how it is, Wayne. Married a woman, fine, no problems, go for your life. But getting involved with the wife of a criminal, you have to be desperate. Or is it Joe? Are you frightened he's going to find out about us and come after you, is that it?
Do you want to go away?
You're pathetic, you know? Under your uniform and all that muscle, there is just no substance at all. God, I can pick it up. Still say we've got nothing to talk about?
What are you doing with him anyway?
Marrying Joe was a mistake. When you make a mistake like that, you can't go back. There's nothing to go back to.
Look, maybe it'd be different if Joe was still inside. We've just left our run too late.
I'm leaving him
When?
when I'm ready. No, I just can't. Joe thinks I'm getting the fish and chips.
Oh, stuff that.
I'll see you later.
Get the feeling you two could have been in trouble.
Well, fortunately, Adam got things under control before Ditch started on the fixtures and fittings.
You mean Adam stopped him?
No big deal.
Really?
Just another job.
Seems like Ditch isn't too pleased to have Joe back. Perhaps he's not the only one.
Hey, this town's amazing. Everyone knows your business before you do.
That's hot news, Mags. A copper chasing after Joe Kenny's wife.
His timing's lousy. I mean, they only just got back together.
Well, I just hope he's got enough sense to leave her alone now that Joe's back.
Oh, I don't know. He seems pretty keen on it, I mean.
Something like this could destroy his career, though.
And his health if Joe finds out.
Nick! Some nice trout on the menu tonight, if you're interested.
I'm not. Pack of twisties, please.
You've got more luck than a leprechaun.
What?
Joe decks blokes just for the hell of it. He doesn't need a good reason.
I suppose he wasn't in a fighting mood.
All the same, I'd steer clear of those Kennys if I were you. Violence is the only thing they understand, and the only law they go by is the law of the jungle.
Looks like he took your point.
Oh, why should I worry if he wants to get his face rearranged? I'm just glad Joe left you alone.
PJ, we've got a job. That highway survey's been robbed.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne?
I told you they were wearing balaclavas.
What about build?
I don't know.
Come on, mate, give us a clue here, will you? Were they tall, short, fat, thin?
Nick, can you run Aaron over the casualty, please?
Yeah, right out.
Wait a minute.
Need to get a full statement tomorrow, Aaron. Nick, see what you can get out of him, mate.
Yeah, all right.
I wasn't finished with that bloke.
Nick can take care of it.
Well, what have we got?
3 males, armed with baseball bats, plus a driver who stayed in the car.
How much?
Piggy bank stuff. The kid had just cleared the till and they didn't stick around for the safe. They took it out of his hide instead.
That's a pattern we used to be very familiar with.
Looks like Joe Kenny's back in business.
That's just typical of you coppers. A bloke makes one mistake and you hound him for the rest of his life.
Routine inquiries, Joe. And we'll get through this a lot quicker if you just answer the questions. Where were you last night?
Home.
All night?
All night.
Anyone verify that?
My little brother, Ditch, he lives there. And my wife.
And what were you doing?
Had dinner about 8, watched a bit of footy. Then Kate and I went to bed early. I've been away a long time.
Bit short of ready cash at the moment, are you, Joe?
Oh, what gave you that idea, Sergeant?
You did. Yesterday at the bottle shop. That's what you said when you helped yourself to your brother's wallet.
We're a caring, sharing family.
Wouldn't be the first time you've hit a servo to get your hands on a bit extra.
That's all in the past.
Yes, well, we'll be talking to your wife and your brother.
Talk to anyone you like. They'll tell you the same thing.
There's obviously no one home.
Well, there's no one here who wants to answer the door.
I'll have a look round the back.
Mrs. Kenny? Ditch? Anyone home?
Obviously not.
You're all right. Well, while we're here, we might as well have a poke round.
What we're looking for?
Baseball bats, balaclavas, money from the hold-up, signed confession, you know. Acts for the dogs. Mate, it's not a smart idea barging in like this.
Door was open. Thought I heard a noise.
Well, that's not exactly what I mean. I mean, it's a bit like eavesdropping. You'll never hear what you want to hear.
Well, there's nothing to tie Joe Kenny to the hold-up, so we may as well get going, eh?
Mate, do yourself a favour. Forget about Wayne. She'll bring you nothing but grief.
Now, are you referring to my career or my personal happiness?
Well, both. But she's a nothing. Wayne, she's a Kenny.
She's not a Kenny. She's married to one. And not for much longer.
Anything?
No, but Maggie just called. PJ wants us to bring the missus in.
How can we bring her in when we can't find her? Do you have any idea where she might be this time of day?
The gym.
Right, we'll go there then.
No, hang about. We're meant to be finding Ditch and Knocker.
We'll stop off at Knocker's place on the way and see if they're there.
Oi, over here. Had a real good look round, did you, mate?
Every night, eh, Ditch?
Oh.
Head to the right, thanks, Aaron.
Constable? So, how's it going?
Not great. He's pretty vague. Might have something to do with that lump on his
Did he
head.
any descriptions?
No, it was hopeless. Look, I took him through some photos, but nothing.
Did he notice the car?
Only that it was a light-coloured station wagon.
Well, Maggie, we need more than that, you know.
Can't get blood out of a stone,
Well, you
PJ.
can if you know how.
Oh, well, you talk to him.
I think I'd better. Now, have you heard from the others?
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago. Look, they had a poke around Joe's place. They couldn't find any balaclavas.
Did they speak to the wife?
No, she wasn't there. He's the brother.
The Ditch. Big night, eh?
Nick and Cooper are out looking for the other one, the one they call Knocker. Where do you want this?
Whacking in my office, please, mate.
Come on.
So, Aaron, Constable Doyle here tells me you're not being very helpful.
Oh, I'm not feeling too good. Can we finish this later?
Hang on, just hold on. Now, you can go home, get some rest, and we'll be in touch, OK?
See ya.
Now, the servo was hit at 9:30. You were released from the lockup at 6. Gave you plenty of time to get home, pick up Joe, Knocker, whoever else was involved in the robbery.
Yeah, I keep telling her, mate, it wasn't us.
Yeah? So what did you do when you left here?
Hitched a ride home, got in about 7, had a shower. Kate came in about 7:30 with some fish and chips. I ate them, and then Joe and Kate went to bed.
What time is this?
I don't know.
Take a wild guess.
So early, 8:39.
What about you?
I hung around for a while, then I went out.
Where to?
I went up Knocker's place.
Did you drive?
No, I walked. Just up the road, had a few cans, and then I come home.
What time was this?
Yeah, it's bloody late, 'cause the next thing I know, it's broad daylight, and one of your coppers is kicking me in the head.
Right, so you're saying that you were at Knocker's place at the time of the hold-up, is it?
Yeah, that's right, I was knocking.
Well, I don't doubt it'll back you up, mate. But if you were at Knocker's place at the time of the hold-up, you can't say where Joe was, can you?
It's the second night out of jail, mate. Where are you going to be? Married to a piece like Kate, huh?
What have I done this time, Constable? Did I run a red light? Park too far away from the curb?
We need to ask you a few questions, Mrs. Kenny.
What sort of questions?
check on your husband's whereabouts between 8:30 and midnight last night.
What for?
Just tell us where he was.
Why don't you ask him?
He says he was in bed with you. Would you care to confirm that, Mrs. Kenny?
Your wife's confirmed you were at home last night.
Had a feeling she might.
I guess it's a Ford Fairmont, is it? Oh, what's the colour? Okay. What style was it?
Name's Constable Cooper. What's the problem?
Richard?
Just wanted to get a good look at you while I'm sober.
Yeah, well, you were told to wait outside, so why don't you just do that?
Yes, I
Sign
can.
there, please.
As soon as we can.
May I go?
Mm-hmm.
What about Joe, eh?
I'm just a little bit sick of waiting for Joe.
It's the white Fairmont station wagon, the ladies that was dumped around 10:30 last night.
All right, could be the one. Time, mate. Max, check it out. I want forensic to go over it later.
Yep.
Wayne, check the usuals, please. This investigation is by no means over.
Waste of taxpayers' money. You're not going to get anything on us.
Hey, boys, before you go, any blokes drive a white Fairmont wagon?
Not that I know of. Why?
We found the one used in the hold-up.
Well, it's not ours. Anyone with half a brain would steal a car for a job anyway.
If you had half a brain, it'd be an improvement. Cars are your specialty, right, Knocker?
Come on, who's chef?
Let's hope we do find something in that car. And Joe's not stupid enough to leave any evidence behind that he's declined a lineup. Which brings us back to positive ID, and where are we going to find that? Now, when was the last time you saw him, eh?
It was back then at the shop.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
You never seen him since then?
How could I? He's only been home a couple of days.
How do you know that?
I told you, everybody knows about the Kenny's business.
Now, in your statement, Aaron, you've described one of the offenders as a medium height, build, and brown eyes.
Yes.
Right, now, that could be Joe Kenny.
No, he's got blue eyes.
You noticed.
Just goes to show Mr. Kenny couldn't have done the hold-up.
No, Aaron, it goes to show that you are a hell of a lot more observant than you are letting on. Yeah, you're right. Can't get blood out of a stone.
You're a bit hard with that kid in there, mate.
What do you suggest, Nick? What, a lollipop, a tickle under the chin, or what?
Well, I don't think being a smart-ass helps. I mean, you practically called him a liar. And
Yeah, he is a liar, mate. What happened with that car?
Well, we tracked down the owner. He's staying with a mate. Didn't even know the car was gone. But a neighbour was putting out the rubbish about 9 and said the car wasn't parked there then.
Right, so the car was dumped at 10:30. The time fits. What about balaclavas and baseball bats?
No, I'm sorry. Maybe forensic will find something.
No, sir. Aaron's not going to play ball. Well, perhaps Maggie might be able to get something out of him. No, she didn't this morning.
Well, she got more out of him than you did, mate.
Mm-hmm. It was just a thought, the woman's touch, all that. Ah, well, what the hell? I'm desperate enough to give anything a go.
Thanks a lot. There you go. Thought you could use that.
Thanks. Has Detective Hasham finished with me?
Yeah, you could say that.
I've got a lecture at 1.
Oh, what's your course?
I'm majoring in philosophy.
Oh, I thought it would be something like that. You strike me as a bit of a thinker.
Do I?
I guess you've thought a lot about last night. Now, Aaron, there's every chance that what those guys did to you, they'll do to someone else.
I can't stop it happening, so why worry? I did my last assignment on fatalism.
You are worried, though, aren't you?
Yeah. Being bashed over the head isn't something I'd wish on anyone else.
You could stop it from happening.
Well, let's say for argument's sake I did know who was behind those masks. Let's say I identified them. Would it guarantee a conviction?
Well, look, there are no guarantees, but there's a very good chance.
And they'd go to jail, right?
Well, probably, but if we're talking about the Kennys, definitely.
For how long?
Well, several years at least.
Mr. Kenny got 7 last time. He got out in 3.
Look, Aaron, the judge sets the minimum sentence, not the prison. Now, he or she will take everything into consideration. Now, I'm sure that he won't get out early next time.
Yeah, but it could happen.
Oh, yeah, it could happen.
Wouldn't be safe. I'd never be safe.
It's open.
got some explaining to do.
Don't waste it on me.
I had no choice, Wayne. You know what Joe's capable of.
Now, that didn't seem to bother you before, did it?
Well, it was easy to be strong when he wasn't around. To fool my soul to thinking I could get away.
You're still sleeping with him. I went around to your place today.
Well, maybe you don't know what he's capable of. Suppose I told you that I wasn't with Joe at the time of the hold-up. Would that make you happy?
Why should it? If you hadn't corroborated his story, he'd probably be in custody by now. Now, if you were really serious about us, what better way of getting shot of him than to dob him in?
And you think he'd let me get away with that?
He'd be behind bars, along with Ditch and Knocker and whoever else was involved.
And what about the others?
What others?
No shortage of Kennys in Mount Thomas.
Petty thieves and dull cheats.
Kennys stick together, Wayne. They'll do anything Joe says. They're as scared of him as I am.
Well, there is such a thing as witness protection. I could get you immunity from the DPP.
Only until he's locked up, then I'd be on my own.
You could leave Mount Thomas, change your identity. We'd help you.
Where would I go?
Perth, the Gold Coast, anywhere you like. Maybe I'd even come with you.
Gold Coast. I'm starting to like it. But are you sure? I mean, I thought witness protection only happened in movies.
But the evidence has to be good, has to be strong enough for a conviction.
I can give you evidence. All the evidence you need.
Then we're home free.
I'm supposed to be meeting Joe.
Joe can go to hell.
Anyone else want to try?
Back of wankers.
Go on, try, mate. You? Come on. I've told you before, Ditch. You're no match for me. You never will be.
Yeah, well, maybe things have changed since you've been gone, haven't they? So
hey,
on,
Chris!
Let's do it.
I'm talking to you, woman.
And I told you you've had enough.
Oh, come on, take me off for once, will you? Oh, shit out!
Knock it off, you two! What happened to you?
You're not our only customer.
Yeah, just get those jerks out of here.
You want to try? Time for another little chat, I think, Joe, down at the station. Any excuse, they say. I'll take this place.
Radio, who's volunteering?
What for?
Door knocking at the servo, dig up a couple more witnesses.
Well, who's going to look after the shop?
Well, where's Wayne?
He's on a private job.
I can wait.
I guess that means that you want me, huh?
Come on, Mags, the woman's touch for a door knock. It's
Oh.
very good.
Now, listen, I want to talk to you about Aaron. Now, don't you give up on him, yet. He might
Well, it's about time, Patterson. Now, if you want to go out and do private work, then...
Mrs. Kenny has some information about the hold-up. She's wanting to make a statement.
Settle down.
So, where is she now? In your office. Thought it was the best place, considering. Patterson's timing could have been better. Boss, if you ask me, his timing's perfect. Well, what were you going to do? Read him the riot act for offensive behaviour? Throw him in the cells for a couple of hours, they sober up? Boss, we have got them. Now, that woman is making a statement now, and that is all we're going to need for a conviction.
What do you want done with the Kenny boys here?
Talk to Joe first. Adam, did you keep those two apart till they're sober enough to interview?
It's no good, Captain.
I'm looking forward to this.
Okay. What about our deal?
In the pipeline. All we're waiting on is confirmation from the DPP. Now, if you'd just like to sign on the last page.
I'm not signing anything. Not until I'm sure I've got immunity and protection.
Wayne, until she signed it, it's useless. We can't charge Joe with anything.
Look, I've spoken to the DPP and I've given them the facts. It won't be a problem.
What won't be a problem?
Are you going to tell him all, I?
Who? Just tell me who.
All you need to know is we've got everything we need for a conviction.
accept a full confession.
You're going inside anyway, Joe. Now, maybe there were extenuating circumstances. You know, you had no money, your family needed to eat.
Good advice if I needed it, which I don't.
You're going to need all the good advice you can get, my friend. Now, for armed robbery with your record, you'll be lucky to get out for your 80th, won't you?
You can't prove anything. My wife told you where I was.
Oh, your wife? Well, I think we can safely discount that.
No way. Not Kate.
Interview suspended at 2:24 p.m.
Think about it, Joe. Who else could give us this information? She's a good-looking girl, your wife. Must have been lonely inside. She got tired of waiting, found someone else. Then you came back 4 years too soon. Spoiled everything. She'd be glad to see the back of you.
Who is it? This bloke?
You give me the truth and I'll tell you.
Hey, Joe. Give you a hint.
Could be one of us. The DPP would not give immunity for something like this, boss.
Oh, you're right. They won't. They just called. You're going to have to let them go. All of them.
I can't say I'm surprised. I mean...
Look, we can still get a conviction.
Not without my help.
OK, forget the statement. You said you could show us where to find the balaclavas and baseball bats.
You think I'd tell you now?
Joe doesn't have to know.
He'd know.
Leave him. Move in with me. I'll look after you.
I'm safe where I am.
Kate, wait a minute. Hello, love. You gonna stay here with your copper mates, or are you coming home with me?
All's fair in love and police work, mate. Now, I would have told him his wife was having an affair with the Chief Commissioner if it helped me get an admission. Now, how was I to know you were making cosy little deals with Mrs. Kenny?
It's not me I'm worried about, it's her.
It's not her responsibility. She's made a choice.
And what choice did she have?
Wake up to yourself, Wayne. She used you, and when she didn't get what she wanted, she dumped you.
Nah, you stuffed up. You couldn't wait to get
And
Kenny
you
on the
did
carpet,
not
so
go
you
to
went
the
at it
proper
like a ball
channel,
in a game.
so who stuffed
I'm
up?
not the
Who
idiot who
stuffed up?
stuffed up.
That's enough.
Kenny.
Take 5 minutes and cool off. Go on, out.
Talk about a balls up.
From now on, we get our facts straight before we make a move.
We are all out of facts.
What about your famous door knock? So, what else have you got?
Oh, well, watch housekeeper's book, running seats records. You've checked the lot.
Excellent.
Boss.
Monica, what a surprise.
Not an unpleasant one, I hope?
No, not at all. Come on through. Nick, why don't you see if you can rouse us up some coffee?
I prefer tea.
So you do.
Senior Sergeant Draper. Nice to see you again.
Likewise, PJ. And it's acting inspector.
Boss, I need a word now.
It'll have to wait, PJ.
Patterson back yet?
Nope. How'd your door not go?
Well, we found a witness. Some old duck walking a dog past a servo. She saw the driver.
That's great. Isn't it?
The driver was a woman. And the description matches Kate Kenny.
BKC to Mount Thomas 209. Please respond.
BKC, this is Mount Thomas 509. Have located Mount Thomas 209. Please advise Mount Thomas Station. We need to have a chat, mate. Makes sense, Wayne. Now, the only thing she couldn't tell us about that hold-up was who was driving the car.
Kate wouldn't lie to me.
She's really got you in her back pocket, hasn't she?
Oh, look, are you going to take the word of some dotty old bat who probably can't see 2 foot in front of her face without her glasses on?
Whose word shall I take? Yours?
She told me the truth.
Did you know she was involved?
Are you accusing me of helping her to make a false statement?
I'm not accusing you of anything. But you listen to me, you know what ID are like. They'll have your guts for garters on this one.
What's it got to do with the toe cutters?
A police officer involved in what looks like perverting the course of justice, mate. I think it's got everything to do with them. You listen to me, Wayne. You are in trouble, mate. Serious trouble.
Boss wants to see you, Wayne.
In a minute.
He said now.
Patterson, you remember Acting Inspector Draper? She's in charge of this division while Inspector Faulkner's on leave.
Acting Inspector Draper?
Constable Patterson.
There's been a complaint about you. Acting Inspector Draper's looking into it on behalf of Double ID.
Is this about Kate Kenny?
Yes, it is.
Then I'm denying the charge.
I haven't been charged with anything yet, Constable. An allegation's been made, and at this stage I don't require you to admit or deny anything. Not until I've looked into the matter further.
Well, I don't see how you can look into the matter any further until you're sure that Kate was the one driving the hold-up car.
What are you on about?
Didn't PJ...
No, he did not.
Mrs. Kenny did, of course, tell me that her husband was under investigation, but that's hardly the issue here.
You've talked to Kate?
She made the allegation.
What allegation?
Sexual harassment. She says you enticed her back to your flat under false pretenses and forced her to sleep with you.
Can I buy you a drink, Constable?
No, thanks.
Oh, good, then you can buy me one. 2 beers, thanks, Chris.
And lay myself open to a charge of sexual harassment.
Oh, I think you're overreacting a little.
Am I? See, I've looked into this stuff. Seems a bloke can't even so much as wink at a woman anymore. And considering our history, I'm surprised you haven't already filed a complaint.
I've heard the boss has taken you off active duty. It's a bit rough. But I'm sure Monica Draper will get to the bottom of all of it.
Do you want to stop patronising me and go away?
You can be a complete and utter pig sometimes, Wayne.
Guess you'll have to drink these by yourself.
No problem.
Listen, if you're going to write yourself off, why don't you go home now? I don't fancy hauling you up the stairs tonight, much less copping the blame for your hangover.
Tell me, Chris, why is it that women always want to involve themselves in other people's problems? Now, do you see Nick or PJ or even Cooper in here tonight offering tea and sympathy?
Maybe they don't think you deserve it. You see, the trouble with us women is that we usually see both sides of every story. Maybe it's the maternal instinct, maybe we're all Florence Nightingales underneath. I don't know. But most of us have pretty broad shoulders.
And size 10 feet for sticking the boot in.
The way you treat women, you probably earn every kick you get. So there's a failed marriage, several relationships since, all failed. And, of course, the alliance with Doyle at the academy, which didn't work out either.
Yes, but it's hardly sufficient to suggest that he's guilty of sexual harassment.
Well, in itself, no. When you put those...
Excuse me. Boss, I'm due to knock off, unless you want me to hang around.
No, that's all right. We won't be much longer.
OK. Good night.
All right.
Tell me more about this senior constable's exam.
What's to tell? Doyle passed and Patterson failed.
All in all, he's not a model police officer, is he?
I've seen plenty worse.
Sergeant, we'd get on a good deal faster if you'd be a little less defensive.
Look, Wayne came here straight out of the academy. He's made a few mistakes, but he's not the only one. He's kicked up his heels occasionally, but I know him and I think I understand him. Ever since his wife took off, he's been looking for someone to replace her. At the same time, he's terrified of making any commitment that might go wrong again. So he's a sitting duck for any woman who gives him a second look. If she's already committed to some other bloke, so much the better.
None of which is an excuse for sexual harassment.
Look, I don't buy for a moment that Wayne forced Kate Kenny to do anything. It's got to be the other way round. She saw him as an easy way out of her marriage or of being incriminated in her husband's shady activities. So she threw herself at his feet. She's the type.
I'm starting to see where Patterson gets his sexist attitudes.
It's got nothing to do with gender. People of both sexes, people like Kate Kenny, individuals who are always prepared to use their personal attributes to manipulate other people.
I'll come back tomorrow to interview the staff about Patterson. And while I'm at it, I intend to make a thorough assessment of male-female working relationships. In my experience, sexism usually filters down through the ranks. Which could very well explain Patterson's little problem, don't you agree?
What's going on?
Hello, Wayne. I have a message for you from Joe.